Tonight's episode of NXT was a fully stacked card from Dallas. We got to see some new talent and some new champions. Stay tuned because we're going to be looking at the next era of NXT.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome everybody to the NXT Aftershow right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Hearing a little bit of the music of the greatest man that ever lived. Bill was very much motioning for the Shinsuke Nakamura theme, which I don't give you no guff over because I absolutely love it.
It's probably going to be our new theme.
We got to give some breaks in and out of the show.
Do we?
So well,
yeah, you can't just get burned out on it.
So instead of times where he actually fights, where they show us like the reminder packages of Shinsuke, that's when we'll play it instead of when he's actually featured on the show.
Oh, okay. So when he's just being the Poochie of NXT?
Exactly, yeah. When he's just shoveled in the back.
When everyone off screen, when everyone else backstage is like, hey, have you guys seen Shinsuke Nakamura around? Wonder what he's up to.
And just cuts to him poorly, like green screened in, like shot shaking. I'm one of your hosts, the internet's Mark B. Donica. You can follow me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica, and make sure to use the hashtag NXTeam throughout the show. Joining me is the rest of the members of said team. First of all, you got some new gold. It's Mr. The True Hobo.
I got some gear, baby. That's right. New United Wrestling Network Tag Team Champion with my partner, Jervis Cotton Billy. We rocked the Coastline Clash. We beat the cold, cold world because nothing is warmer than a hug.
I thought you were going to say nothing stronger than the power of friendship.
Close.
No.
I mean, they were powerful, and obviously
They were
our
pretty strong.
friendship was more powerful, and our hugs are warmer. We melted them.
You melted their cold, cold hearts.
Like
the cold, cold hearts of the cold,
Snowman
cold
made
world.
of meat.
Meatman.
Delicious.
Also,
Meat
Mr. Bill Hanstock.
snowman.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Send Motel on Twitter.
Wonderful.
I don't have a championship belt.
You could.
If you got a
I don't
computer.
know,
Well, I mean, I could buy a replica belt.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's a terrible waste of money.
You could start, you know what you could do? And this is just pie in the sky. You could start a YouTube channel about video games, wrestling video games, and fight over the championship every month. So that way you have an excuse to carry around a version of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Just
sounds
off the top of my head.
Vaguely familiar.
I don't know what you're talking about. The show starts with Mr. William Regal running down the card for the entirety of the show. We have a new... We have a lot of new. There's a new theme for Angelo Dawkins. We have a new competitor when it comes to Austin Aries, which is our first. It's our first fight of the evening. So, what did you all think of this match? A lot of interesting offense from both sides.
Dawkins, I think this sort of felt like his coming out party. Like he had finally arrived. He actually got an introduction. He was allowed to walk to the ring by himself.
Yeah, you got the second entrance.
He came to the ring like a big boy tonight. Good for him.
That's one way
He
to
is
put
a
it.
big boy.
I mean, compared
He's
to...
such a big boy, he needs
Hey,
two
double.
headbands.
Yes. Well, some guys sweat a lot.
It's true.
I thought it was going to be the size of his head is so large that he needs two to
Yeah,
kind of keep
yeah.
it. Like the kids with the helmets.
Like he's got
Like trying to fix the...
He's got a soft spot.
Yeah, he's trying to cover it up with the
Just
headband.
the Fontanelle.
Yeah.
The Angelo Dawkins Fontanelle. Classic.
How did you like? How did you like being in the crowd for this match, Bill?
It was good. I always like watching old Sparkle Butt do his work.
You've ruined that for a lot of people. I've seen on Twitter the response is
his name.
can't see Austin Aries without saying
Just
old
polite.
sparkle butt.
Just
He
polite.
may cold cock you if he ever sees you, Austin
I-
Aries.
That's
talked to Austin
Mr.
Aries,
Sparkle
yeah.
Butt to you, sir.
I miss watching Austin Aries work. I haven't watched him in a while because I don't really watch TNA. I'm sorry, but
no idea what you're talking about.
yeah.
Please
Anyway,
continue.
I don't watch some
Eli
programs.
Drake.
Yeah,
Eli Drake.
Yeah, from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And TNA.
but I
That was
missed
a joke.
Austin Aries. I
an
missed
ass.
Austin Aries' hisses. Austin Aries
Hisses.
sometimes has a slow leak. Who just does the. He does a lot of. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Like, really?
Like every time he strikes, he's like.
audibles.
I didn't notice him.
He wants everybody to be quiet while he's striking,
Yeah,
so you
he's
can
like,
hear how hard he is actually striking.
Yeah, exactly. And he was hitting Angelo Dawkins real hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. Angelo was trying. It was actually, I found it a little weird. Austin looked like he was showing a little bit too much aggression, almost going a little bit too far in some places, taking the count all the way up to 5, like as a good guy. To 4.
Although that when he broke in the corner, Angelo cold cocked him over the ref's back, so Angelo was, you know, more or less, and Angelo kept taunting.
Oh, sure,
Austin Aries
stirring the
with
pot.
His cooking, his good James Harden style cooking. And I loved when Austin Aries threw his headbands back at him, like the ultimate insult. Like, wear personalized headbands to the ring against me, will you?
It's all about diamonds and shiny butts.
I want to know what you guys think about Angelo Dawkins' new nickname and/or gimmick, the Curse of Greatness.
I'm waiting for it to sort of take shape. It has a name and sort of an idea, but I don't know yet what that fully is. What does that mean to be cursed with greatness?
Is the Curse of Greatness what you get, like, when you open, like, Michael Jordan's tomb?
The curse of greatness.
Like when Wayne Gretzky bites you, like then you're like,
Yes.
oh, I've got the curse of greatness. Like every full moon, you just can't stop being.
That's
awesome.
the viral infection of greatness.
Yes.
It's a different sort of thing.
But where does greatness begin and end, I think, is the question. When do you become great? Does Angelo Dawkins need to win a match to become great? I think is the question
I think
in
he
my
has
mind.
to beat Austin Aries because he's the greatest man who ever lived.
Well, it didn't happen tonight.
Not tonight. It wasn't Angelo Dawkins' night.
No,
Nope.
the huge rolling elbow gets the win for Austin Aries, but we've always been a fan of Angelo Dawkins here at the show, and happy that he's got his entrance, he's got something to start with, instead of the tag team circuit that didn't quite work out for him.
Or the backpack and the shooting sleeve, which also didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I like that too, but it just because we were starting to see more of his personality, and we're seeing it more and more now, which is even better.
We saw Austin Aries' NXT finisher tonight for the first time.
The rolling elbow, as Graves called it. Probably no brainbuster?
Probably no Brainbuster, probably no 450.
Maybe
Because
450.
AJ does the springboard 450.
He does the 450 off the ropes.
Right, but I don't know.
We might
We'll have to wait and see.
someday, yeah.
Something else may.
I doubt we'll see a brainbuster though, because
Right.
people don't really do brainbusters in WWE or NXT.
No.
Well, Finn has the brainbuster. The half
That's true. That's true.
So I don't think
The
just because of that.
1776. What is it? The 1960.
Yeah,
1960.
Yeah.
they keep changing names on us. In the
Or
back
was
we
it
see
18 something? No, because yeah.
The Bloody Finn Day.
the Fin Day, Bloody Fin Day. In the back, damn it, we see Samoa Joe being asked, what's next for him? I mean, you know, you lost the championship, or you lost the championship match. What's next for you? Come on, let's have some fun here. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed. He will continue his war until he accomplishes his mission.
He's a warrior.
He is a warrior. He is a warrior.
One of two things is happening with Samoa Joe. Either his towels are getting bigger or he's getting smaller.
I mean, either way, that means one,
What
he's
if they're
making more money.
soaking him up?
Oh no.
What
They're
if they're
robbing him
actually
of his
like
power.
a parasite?
Oh no.
Samson's towel of power.
it's a
He's eventually just
symbiote.
going to turn into a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, only instead it's a fluffy towel that he's made out of.
It's gonna be like Spider-Man and Venom. Like his like NXT season finale, he has to fight the towel. It's
Yeah.
like now a towel person.
It'd
Yes.
that would be Cotton Eye Joe.
But then you just dress up. You just dress up. That was good.
Thank you.
You just dress up Tucker Knight like the Yeti.
Let's forget the Yeti, please. Or was it the monk?
The Yeti. It's spelled Yeti, but it's pronounced the Yeti.
Yeti. I
Is
was
that Japanese? The
Yeah,
Japanese
yes.
Yeti? It's the Yeti?
Like a shote for
Yeah.
the Yeti.
That's a good pull. Next week he's going to bring his war to Apollo Crews. Early buzz on that match, Bill, is that it was pretty spectacular.
I don't know
It's
if
a
you heard.
real good match. You guys are going to be really happy to see it.
Really excited to see it next week. Speaking of next week, No Way Jose is going to be making his debut.
No way.
Yes way.
Whoa.
I mean, the
That
buzz around
sounds
this
like
guy.
a sick donkey.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you. The buzz around this guy, not just from his debuts, but also the NXT Vine account and Instagram accounts have been posting his entrances. Yeah, like he's no secret, but already just with the music and then with what little the public, quote unquote, has seen of him, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
It is.
Good to know. Speaking of a lot of fun, we have Alexa Bliss coming out fighting Tessa Blanchard.
Hey.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of transitions in this match. Tessa was trying to get over on Alexa, I mean in a general sense, but also like to a technical level, to a intensity level, and Alexa had her number the entire match.
Almost the entire match.
I mean, except for that short little comeback near the end.
Yeah, Tessa had some fire. She obviously had some fire, but there's something about Alexa Bliss. I think she's able to just use her size to her advantage and find the weak points in anybody's, repertoire to just sink in a really devastating elbow like she did in the ropes that changed the tide of the match severely.
I think what Alexa's been doing since she was the Sparkle cheerleader, like what she's been doing is I think she's really been focusing on, she's aware of how small that she is, so she's hitting much harder than all the other women to make up for it. And it works. It totally, I mean, Alexa's amazing anyway, like just from charisma, from facials, and from, everything that she does, like she's awesome. But I love that she's like probably the most, outside of Asuka, the most vicious woman in the women's division in NXT. And it really shows. And you could really see like the difference in this match of like how hard she was hitting Tessa versus how hard Tessa was hitting her.
Yeah,
You got a clothesline. Or a clothesline, excuse me, a choke slam.
Yeah. I don't think Tessa was ready for it. I don't.
This is a different level. As Alexa said in the match, this is NXT.
Plus, you have to take the Blake and Murphy factor into account. Them being absent, Tessa Blanchard might have been playing in her head a different game. Come to the ring with a different game plan, and all of a sudden the guys aren't there, and she's like, I don't know what to do with myself.
She could be under the impression that they could come out at any moment.
Right.
Yeah,
I would be a little concerned myself. Out come the wolves.
Yeah. I want someone to please make a Vine and tweet it at me of Tessa after she blocks the slap going, I don't think so.
That was strong. She's trying to get the crowd behind her.
Memorable.
Oh, very.
Yeah. Yes.
Memorable. The old Four Horsemen hand sign.
Yeah, we used to do this a lot.
Bang, bang, yeah.
And smoking guns. In the back, we see Finn Balor being asked who he considers the new #1 contender. But he actually wasn't that quiet this time. He found his voice.
He wasn't as intense, so he
had a little bit of throat coat.
She asked if he was going to stick around to see shit's.
Hey, you gotta stick around to see shit's going on.
I think I'm going home actually.
I'm not feeling the best right now. I have to.
And then he
go
came
get some tea from Starbucks.
super close to just being 100% Finley, because he was like, I love to fight. My name is Finn, and I love to fight.
Well, it's his job to fight.
Right.
He has a responsibility to the championship and to the fans, so he's
That's why I'm staying at this taping, to watch another man.
Not somebody who I just kind of like and was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna watch this match, and he's only gonna stay for the end of this taping, and then he's gonna bolt.
Actually, I think I'm ready for a lie down, a lazy downsy.
That match was very tiring. I didn't get a chance to sleep that night. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to go back to my hotel room. I'm going to take maybe a 1 or 2 hour nap. Have a nice cup of tea.
See, I'd believe that if he said it. Sort of everything he says in his promos end up coming off kind of political in a way. Just sort of canned, rehearsed. He always says
Smiling waves.
the right thing, but it never seems to have any sort of real intensity or enthusiasm or belief in it. So it all just kind of coming off, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do whatever's necessary.
So real quick, while we're on Finn Balor, this past week on Raw, Anderson and Gallows made their debut, just beating the crap out of the Usos. No Finn to be seen. Finn Balor has been along with their past, he's been tweeting at them and to them and for them, and it seemed like we were going to see them all as one unit, and as of right now, that's not the case.
Well, they're sort of acting as rogue agents at this point. They're not there in any official capacity. They're in street clothes. They're coming in not wearing any sort of
DOA
name
style
or branding. They're just coming in, kicking ass, and leaving. For what reason? We don't know yet.
They're like a couple of they're not from the inside, so I would call them like outsiders.
Outsiders.
Yeah. If you want to use that, go ahead. It's weird though, because there's this tag team tournament going on. We don't know if they're trying to like strong arm their way into it, or if they're just showing who's boss.
We don't know.
They're
not saying.
Yeah.
Nothing
No,
yet.
you good?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay. All right. Moving on, we've got, speaking of tag team action, we've got Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano versus the recently debuted Vaudevillains. A lot of folks, or no, two folks on this show have debuted on WWE television within the past week or so, which is great. And Apollo Crews next week, of course, he's debuted on the main roster as well. What did y'all think of this tag match, of possibly the Vaudevillains' last appearance as main NXT roster talent?
Well, it certainly holds true that you go out on your back. Everybody who leaves NXT leaves on the bottom. You don't win your way out. You definitely sort of go out losing. And I would have been surprised if they won. They didn't, so it sort of held true.
I mean, Bo Dallas, arguably, while he did lose, he left a winner. He was such a winner when he left.
Yeah. Really, really great winner.
I don't want to go. Never forget. What did you think of this match, Bill?
I liked it. I think it was a good last match for Vaudevillains because you get to show off their more sinister side, their more aggressive side. They looked good without trying to do or doing too much. And Gargano and Ciampa got a good decisive victory.
They didn't try to do too much of this stuff that got the crowd involved, which
that too.
On one end, the crowd seemed a little bit quiet for some of these matches, but on the other end, that made them kind of want to cheer for them more and go like, oh, I don't like those guys because I wanted to cheer for them and I didn't, which is kind of what you're supposed to do. I also liked how Gargano was outmaneuvering everybody and just rolling in and out of all of these different holds, and despite that, the Vaudevillains were like, no, we got to shut him down, slow down the pace of the match, and try to control it as much as they could before the wild man Tommaso Ciampa, dude's crazy, got in and really wrecked house.
The Vaudevillains can be great grapplers. We've seen it before. They can actually use some really unique holds in there and different transitions to get into those holds that cannot be as easily scouted. But for some reason, Gargano and Ciampa just looked like a powerhouse tag team that was technical and hard-hitting, where the Vaudevillains just seemed to fight individually and just throw pretty much straight strikes.
Yeah.
It ended up being their downfall.
What was it like sitting in the crowd for this?
It was good. The crowd was pretty into it. This was either in the second or third hour. So the crowd there were a lot of really hot matches up front, which is, smart. So the crowd, wasn't, they were, like, as you heard, they were a lot more into this match than they were into, like, Alexa versus Tessa.
Which is unfortunate. Everybody's super into Alexa, but I think the WWE audience isn't as familiar with Tessa Blanchard, and with it,
keep in mind this was an access,
this is access.
Anybody could go and take a look.
You're like, oh, it's this NXT thing I've heard so much about.
But I was sitting in the rows of the ringside seats, and everyone who was in the ringside seats, with like maybe 3 or 4 exceptions, stayed for the whole thing. So like they were the fans who either didn't like to walk around or were there to see.
Like, I got a chair and I'm gonna stays here, damn it.
Yeah, and one of the guys, there was a guy who was actually standing who was in full Simon Gotch cosplay. It was awesome.
Yeah, the Japanese guy.
Yeah,
he sat in front of us at Takeover and would not put down his signs, so we couldn't see a lot of stuff. He was like, hey, could you tell that guy to? Loved him, absolutely loved him. But
next time, just set him on fire.
Oh, that sounds a good idea.
Yeah. He brought 20 signs. They all said Simon Gotch. He held them up in every match. Simon Gotch was not on Takeover.
No, he brought 2 Japanese signs, one for Asuka, one for Shinsuke, which was very nice. Awesome match. Awesome match. That double team knee and Zaguri in the corner was pretty gross. Not too much of a fan of how much pain that was. And Bill, you mentioned it. Ciampa won with the arm breaker. What do we call that? Like, we need a name for it.
Yeah, it's got to get a name.
Get to the Ciampa.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly.
That's a little too easy. 2 on the nose. It needs to be on the arm, damn it.
Ciampa at the bit.
I like that. You gotta.
Is he a horse now?
Yeah, he's a hoss.
He's a horse.
It's a hoss.
Horse. Tommaso Ciampa, cowboy.
Tommaso
Ciampa. Yeah.
We're getting a little bit too into that. Back in the backstage, we have. I mean, where else would it be? We have Alex Reyes with Ty Dillinger. Perfect.
This segment was a 10.
We've been talking about it for months. Thank you, Hobo. We're getting Dillinger rating other things now.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're going to start to see him just in random parts of NXT, show up and start rating stuff.
He's so good.
And it's been working at the live events.
Just him like leaving and then coming back and just tucking a 3 into Alex Reyes's.
And then leaving a completely different direction.
No, he went to
get
his
the
bag,
number,
and then put. I mean, Alex isn't a 3. That was a little bit overstating.
What's amazing
his
is like right after that segment happened on Twitter, Alex Reyes tweeted at Corey Graves and Tom Phillips, "Hey, I earned that 3."
Working hard for that 3. Don't take a 3 away from a man.
So I mean, technically, while it's great to be rated a 10, 3 gives you room to work with.
Sure.
Gives you room to improve.
Yeah, if you're already at 10,
Lot of room.
what's there left to aspire to? Well, we'll find out later.
We'll find out more.
But
Alex,
Ty Dillinger is wearing a Ty Dillinger shirt. They gotta offer that. They gotta start offering
soon, hopefully by the next takeover, because this past week of live events, the main event was Austin Aries and Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger, meaning they have a lot in store for Ty Dillinger, and we're going to see later in his match how much he can really, how present he can be, and what an amazing performer. The NXT crowd NXT performers have been telling us personally and offhand for years how much to like just wait for Ty Dillinger, and everybody's going to love it. And so far, super agree with them. Man, this was a fun promo. Yeah. Next match.
Although, like, Ty Dillinger, I feel like he, in this current gimmick, he sort of fulfills, on the main roster, he would fulfill, like, the Tyler Breeze sort of area. So I'd prefer for him, for at least for the time being, stay in NXT, get a groundswell going, and be the solid hand there.
I mean, he was hot in the what was the match? The Falls Count Anywhere match, where they got to 10 suplexes and they had the 10 chant. I mean, that means it's working.
Yeah, for sure.
But is it enough for the main roster folks to be like, yeah, no, just stick with that and we're good with it? Who knows? We wish as we do with every member of the roster, we hope the best for Ty Dillinger. He's doing great so far. Next match, Tucker Knight with some new music, with some new gear, versus good old Barry C, Robbie Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barry C's is his nickname now. Robbie Corvette's his real name.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
True.
Yeah.
This did not. You look at these two guys from across the ring. How do you expect it to go? You expect the heavy hits from Tucker Knight and maybe a little bit of speed, trying to take advantage of his weight from Baron Corbin. That is not what we saw.
In a way, we did, because the hands of Corbin are incredibly fast, and he knows he's losing some ground to Tucker Knight, at least in weight. He's got maybe a couple inches, but he's slender. He's a slender man. It's those quick hands. He knows how to use them to put Tucker Knight on the defensive. But Tucker Knight, that man's a Mack truck, just running
at full speed
right through Corbin at points of this match.
Not fun. He did a version of a train.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? About the use of a train move?
I'll allow him to use it.
Good for you. You know what? You're a good man for doing so.
He'll throw me a couple
what
bucks.
if Elias Sampson was using it?
Then that's not okay.
It's a bridge too far.
He would have to send a politely worded letter before he started using
That's
it.
right.
Something
Just
of that
like
nature.
that dude that sent to TNA like this week. And cease and desist. I am a clown.
A lot of name dropping a completely different company this week.
There's a lot of stuff going on over there. They're fun to watch right now. They're working out of a warehouse. It's kind of fun.
Working out of a van down by the
They're
river.
gonna hire me real soon.
Tucker Knight looked. He was moving like a cruiserweight. Looked like everything was going his way, but
then he got tuckered out,
he got a little bit.
and Robbie Corvette said goodnight.
With a straight right.
Yep.
And Hobo was actually mentioning, I wonder if he's gonna do the end of days on him. And I was like, he'll probably just hit him with the deep six. Nope.
Snatched right out of the air.
Like literally the second after. Huge end of days. Baron Corbin ends up getting the win. I mean, you want to talk about a guy leaving NXT on his back?
Tucker Knight.
Tucker Knight. We're
Yeah.
gonna
that
see
call up.
new member of the Wyatt family.
He's going to join Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I'm sure,
There you go. Yeah.
in getting his clock cleaned.
He's
Beard Bros.
gotta shave his head though.
I wouldn't want him to do that. He's got such beautiful locks.
Well, you look at Anderson and Gallows.
They're the only two members of the Bullet Club. Oh, Bad Luck Fale. Okay, there's three. Fine.
There you go.
Yep.
Nice grab. we're back at the spot of the NXT TakeOver Dallas event. American Alpha is looking over it, reflecting on their win when they get approached by Enzo and Cass, congratulating them on their win.
Enzo wearing a nightcap, a la the night before Christmas
you doing?
poem.
He woke up from a long Dallas nap.
Sounds about right. It was weird weather down there. It could have been a winter's nap.
It was a little chill.
I see you basking in it. You're basking in it.
It's good. It's healthy.
This promo was so awesome because it was like clever and creative and unique in that, like, you know, they're in the empty arena looking at where they won the title. Like, kudos to whoever like thought that up. Like, that's a great place to put that.
Yeah. I wonder when they shot that. You know, did they shoot it like right before they left when they just cleared out all of NXT that night and then?
Well, because Access was
day.
In the same building.
Exactly,
so
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is they could have just gone through the back door and gone.
What the hell were Enzo and Cass doing there, though? Did they just follow him?
That's all, I just like your look.
They were shooting a promo right next to them, and they were like, "Check it out, Cass. This is the building where we weren't booked last night. It all happened here."
Or no, they were, because it's just like the next door over. Maybe they were looking for a bathroom with no fans in it. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
Cass comes in and is like, "Hey, Enzo, American Alpha's shooting a promo over here. Let's go watch him."
Over here? Over there. Over here. How you doing? They're like, hey, we haven't fought. Let's make a match. Nice guys, those two. And
Because if they had a dime for every time they've won the NXT Tag Team Championship, they'd have zero dimes.
Nice. We haven't seen like a well-spirited promo from anybody really in a while. Just like, hey, you guys are pretty great. We're pretty great. Why don't we fight? Just a little bit. All right. Hey, that sounds like fun. Sounds like a good time. Treating it as the fun that it is, how much fun it is for the fans, how it is to be in that ring. It was a wonderful change of pace. Nobody looked like a jerk, which is plus when you have two huge teams like these two. Next match, Bayley versus Liv Morgan. Bayley sporting the fan-voted gear, fan-created gear that was a big contest leading up to WrestleMania, which was really cool. Liv Morgan also gets a video, gets an intro, gets all of her stuff.
Respect the 209.
Respect the 209. What did y'all think of this match? 201?
201.
610. What? What did y'all think of this match?
Liv Morgan looked stronger. I think as time is going on here, she is looking more and more like a stronger competitor, which is good for her. I think that she's got, you know, some potential, perhaps in the title picture in the future. Not exactly right now.
Did losing the jersey help, do you think?
Yeah.
The jersey?
Nobody looks good in something baggy, especially when you've as put together as Liv Morgan.
What about Road Dogg?
If I had a body like BG James, I'd wear a baggy thing too.
Hey, man.
What?
He's a fan of the show.
That's cool.
We apologize.
Sorry.
Thank you. All right. It was interesting. Liv Morgan definitely lost some size on Bayley, which is an interesting turn of the coin that we haven't seen from Bayley in too long. But Liv couldn't outpower Bayley. Bayley was the power player in this match. Huge belly to belly from Bayley in this for the win. Any other big things that stood out to you for this match?
I really like Liv Morgan's new gear. I like her rocking the J's and having the colorful tights. I think it works. It's so much better than the jersey, but I like her new gear.
It looks a little bit more WWE.
Yeah, she just needs to it's just gonna take more time, her getting more comfortable, and I really am curious to see what Liv Morgan's signature offense is gonna be. Her biggest thing that she did in this was she got in the corner and was like, "Hey everybody, yeah," and then did a monkey flip.
Yeah.
Which was really weird.
Monkey flip. Yeah. She didn't stand out physically.
Right.
Everything that I can recall from this match is really
the backspring head scissor. Everybody was kind of like,
that was all right. That was all right.
Oh, she did the Matrix dodge.
The Matrix dodge as well.
Yeah.
One of the things that made Alexa Bliss stand out when she first started was all of her interesting reversals and escapes. Do you think we're going to see a similar trend with Liv Morgan? Maybe.
As long as
taking advantage of her size versus as opposed to larger opponents.
As long as they can work on sort of putting flow into her interesting reversals and things like that. The things that she did tonight, sort of to dodge Bayley, were cool. They just seemed a little shoehorned in. They didn't seem to have as good a flow. Like she'd have to stop and start to actually get that in there. But I think with work, it'll gain flow, and she will be a contender, sort of on par with Alexa Bliss, but sort of the other side of the coin.
Sure, I can see that. After the match, Bayley gets on the mic. She lost to an amazing opponent, but she doesn't want anybody to feel sorry for her because she will be champion again. Not NXT Women's Champion, but maybe another championship, maybe WWE Women's Champion, maybe.
There's only two!
She still stands for all of us. So that was a wonderful message to leave. We see her and Izzy in the crowd. Izzy still close to tears.
She's better, though.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. We get an official announcement for next week. American Alpha versus Enzo and Cass, as well as the Joe and Cruz.
What a stacked show already.
And No Way Jose's debut.
And No Way Jose.
It's gonna be a good show next week. Pretty excited about it. But speaking of excitement, our main event of the evening, Shinsuke Nakamura versus the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Very vocal match. Very fun match. I wouldn't call it's definitely not a comedy match, but Ty just knows he knows who he is and knows the type of personality that he needs to bring to match Shinsuke.
It's not a comedy match, it's a personality match.
Exactly. It's a battle of personalities, two wills, two individuals of strong character duking it out. It's really the stuff that everybody enjoys seeing. Sure, you like seeing a technical match, but if you pepper in a match that's both technical and it's a standout, because these two individuals, you can't see them anywhere else. These two are like none other. And now you get to see them have a full-fledged match. Now that is a payoff.
I think this is also a great start to the future of Nakamura with how just perfectly everything his match with Sami Zayn was. Now let's show a different side. Let's go to the super personality based matches. The He's 11 chant that was started by the crowd, perfect. It continued on Twitter later, which just absolutely amazing. Him trying to figure out what 10 was. Lot of Ty avoiding the roundhouse by ducking and then just getting a straight boot. Not
what
fun.
happens.
That was gross. That was pretty gross. Great super kick from Dillinger to Nakamura as well, just knocking the taste out of him. Some highlights from you guys, because those were some of mine.
Well, great match for Nakamura, but also a super great match for Ty Dillinger. This really gives him something to build on. It's going to be a match that a lot of people are going to watch because people want to see more of Nakamura. So that's just great for Dillinger, and he got so much in this match, and he got to showcase his personality and showcase working as a heel and showing frustration and selling like a boss.
And this was the main event. Like this was the last match of the part
Taping.
of the thank you. Well, I mean that whatever.
No, it was the last match that they taped during
the session.
The taping.
So it was the totally last match of the session.
Last match that they taped.
And the crowd was still as pumped for it.
Well, because they were just up for Nakamura. Like Nakamura was like the second or third match in the whole tapings, and then 3 hours later he was like the last match. And it was interesting because that cello sting that opens his theme, like people were like, because people weren't like super familiar with it because it was the day after Takeover, and so people were like, and then it like says Shinsuke Nakamura, and they're like, blah, it just went crazy, and the exact
Literally, blah!
And then 3 hours later, the exact same reaction. It's like you already heard it, like it already happened.
But then he gives it the reverence and the quiet
it's
that
so
just
good. Yeah.
adds extra to it.
It's great.
Hobo, what about you for this match?
I think this was a great opportunity for Ty Dillinger. Granted, he did garner a loss in this match, but Ty Dillinger, believing he is the perfect 10, and that egomaniac can chase down Nakamura as long as he wants until he gets tired of chasing him. So I think this is a nice program with some legs for Ty Dillinger that'll sort of propel him into everyone's sort of the sphere that everybody knows, because nobody knows what Ty Dillinger is capable of if they haven't seen him live. You only know him from TV. His his offense is somewhat limited in your mind. We know that this guy is very capable of creating scenarios with individuals that are attention stealing. This guy can steal a show, and I think him and Nakamura together can create this buzz that'll steal almost any show they're on.
So you think we're gonna keep seeing these two fight?
I have a feeling.
All right, I hope so as well. We've loved Ty Dillinger, big fan of his on the show, so happy to see him get such landmark opponents.
One thing I'm looking forward to is when everyone is aware of Shinsuke's like shaking corner choke, because he did it at Takeover and people weren't really sure how to react to it. And then he did it here and people weren't really sure how to react to it. But I'm looking forward to like when that's a known spot and people like pop for it.
It's gonna be fun.
It's like being electrocuted.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it's like.
Hell of an episode of NXT tonight. We do have some news and gossip though.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So first thing, speaking of Shinsuke Nakamura, over the weekend he did fight Manny Andrade and suffered an injury to the back of his head where he needed staples to close it shut.
4 of them.
4 of them, and they showed like footage as WWE likes to do. Weirdos.
But he immediately tweeted out that he's fine.
Yeah.
Just 4 staples. It's fine.
'Tis a flesh wound.
Tis but a scratch. So hopefully those staples are already out. And then the biggest news of the week, last week we kind of reported on the Mighty Don't Kneel possibly getting signed. Turns out we had 8 huge signings this past week, and we're going to break them down.
10.
10? 10?
10.
Why did I
Minus
see
the
8?
tag
Because
team.
there's the 2. Plus
Okay,
8
plus
more.
the 8. Okay. So, 8 additional. Starting with Michael Nichols and Shane Verizer? Sorry, go ahead.
Shane Haste.
Shane Haste.
That's his
Shane
work.
Haste,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Shane,
They
Mikey
put
Nichols,
They put everyone's government names
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the press
they did.
release.
Mikey Nichols and Shane Haste, also known as the
If
Mighty
you're
Don't
not
Kneel.
familiar with the Mighty Don't Kneel, go to YouTube, check out Mighty Don't Kneel tribute or Mighty Don't Kneel highlights or whatever. They're very cool Australian guys who have been in Pro Wrestling Noah, been tag team champs in Noah. They're awesome. They're going to be amazing in NXT.
We also have Nikki Storm, Nicola Glencross of Glasgow, Scotland, Daniela Camella of Los Angeles, California, who almost made it to TV on Tough Enough. Yeah, she's from Knox Pro.
Yes.
So we know some folks down
Has an
at Knox Pro.
athletic background.
Macy Estrella of Paris Island, South Carolina, or Estrella. You know, she was the. Remember the blonde woman who gave that amazing promo from Breaking Ground?
Yeah.
Signed. That's her.
Oh.
Excellent for her. We covered it. Make sure you go check out our Breaking Ground after show. Bill was a frequent guest on that show. Nikola Bogojevic from Superior, Wisconsin, from the tutelage of Mr. Gerald Briscoe. An amazing amateur wrestler. They have footage of him up. Absolutely astounding. Terrence Jean-Jacques of Boston, Massachusetts. He parlayed his amateur wrestling into MMA and is now going into professional wrestling. Good for him. Babatunde Ayegbusi of Olenica, Poland. He's a non-wrestler athlete, but he looks like a monster too, or a beast, excuse me. Either or, take your pick. Bianca Blair of Knoxville, Tennessee, another non-wrestler, and Carolyn Dunning of Las Vegas, Nevada, who's another non-wrestler recruit. She is a fitness model for her background. How many more of these big signings do you think we're going to see within the next year?
Well, here's the thing. In the Performance Center right now, there are 79 athletes right
Including these 10?
Yes,
Including these
counting those.
now. So there's that's just so many people working out of the Performance Center. So there are going to be more signings, but there's got to be we got to work. I think we're close to seeing the next generation of NXT people.
Okay.
Yep, we're getting there. There's a lot of different folks, and I think it's just a matter of time until there's going to be a real change of the guard. We've seen a lot of people who are on NXT television right now transition to the main roster, leaves a gap. Some people who aren't on TV yet going to be pulled onto TV, and those people who are underneath them will be pulled into live matches. So it's just sort of representing itself or repeating itself.
But at least even the non-wrestler folks, at least they're physical, at least they're athletes.
Well, yeah. I think that's going to be the direction they're going to go in. It's a dovetailed effect. You got to get the independent wrestlers who know what they're doing, so to speak, in that ring, and then the people who the company really finds to be a good investment, who are good professional athletes and are tested, then both of those together are going to create the superstars of tomorrow.
I would say also the worldwide reach as well.
Yes.
You know, we're seeing folks not just from America, Poland, Australia, Scotland. I think it's only going to get bigger.
Absolutely.
But from there, we're going to take a quick moment to thank our friends over at DraftKings. So the first golf major of the year starts this week, and you can play 1 week fantasy golf for free at DraftKings.com. So the easiest thing to do, it's super simple. You just pick 6 golfers before tee off on Thursday morning, stay under the salary cap, rack up points for streaks, per hole performance, tournament finishes, and more. All you have to do is outscore the competition, and you win. Whether you're a master of golf or just ready to try a new fantasy sport, DraftKings brings the excitement of the game to a whole new level with every monster drive and every made putt bringing you closer to victory. And DraftKings has more than fantasy golf. Choose from a variety of sports, including MMA, which we have covered before on the show, to showcase your winning skills. Millions of sports fans just like you have already discovered DraftKings. Now it's your turn. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. So here's what you got to do. Thursday morning, that's tomorrow. So you still have time. Hurry to DraftKings.com now. Choose your golfers. Play for free with the promo code BUZZ. Enter promo code BUZZ to play now for free only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. Thank you to the folks at DraftKings for helping us out. Can't keep the lights on without you, so we thoroughly appreciate it. So before we go, last thing we wanted to mention is an update. In case you didn't see the show last week, we have a contest.
Contest.
So,
Contest.
as we mentioned last week, we are going to be giving away this WrestleMania. You leave that there. This WrestleMania hoodie. It is
To
a
who?
size
Who?
XL.
Who?
This WrestleMania hoodie to anybody. Anybody is eligible. It's super simple. All you got to do is you have to hashtag NXT team. You have to follow me. You have to follow Hobo. You have to follow Bill. You have to follow Kathy Kelly. And because we said so, you have to follow Dale at The Walking Dale, Mr. Dale Rutledge. You have to follow all 5 of us, and then you have to tweet us what your dream NXT match is for WrestleMania 33.
Yep.
Super simple.
Some good submissions coming in.
Two or more people who are currently in NXT in a match at next year's WrestleMania.
That seems pretty easy. Yeah. I mean, I have a couple already thinking, but I'm not eligible.
We've
already seen a bunch of awesome dream matches.
Yeah, and people making photoshops. That doesn't influence us any more than just the idea of the match. You don't have to do photoshops. You don't have to make it in WWE 2K16 or 15 or whatever you have. As long as you just tell us the dream match, we're gonna vote on it and we're gonna win. We're gonna announce that winner next week. But what if I told you we were gonna sweeten the pot?
I would say this pot couldn't get any sweeter.
Well, Bill, you'd be wrong because we have a Shane O'Mac $1 million bill. It's not actual currency.
Here comes the money.
Here comes the money. So we've got this Shane McMahon, one of these dollar bills that fell from the ceiling at WrestleMania 32.
That's the real Shane O'Mac dollar.
Yeah, no, it's the real one. It's got the
realsies.
WrestleMania logo on the back. It says the money.
You guys know you want that.
So we're gonna be sending this along. We're gonna.
Someone is asking if the sweatshirt is signed. If you want it to be signed, we'll sign it for you. It's not signed by any wrestler.
No, it's not signed by anybody. It's just a WrestleMania sweater.
Just WrestleMania.
If you want us to sign it,
we'll sign it. Yeah.
But yes, we're gonna be sending the. Or if you want us to sign the dollar,
no,
it would devalue the dollar.
That is tampering with federal currency.
You're right, and we don't want to do that. So we'll find a way to send this.
This is legal tender
to keep it flat and straight. No.
Not for lack of trying.
Goodness gracious. So yes, all you have to do is follow all of us, use the hashtag NXTeam, and tweet at us. You get the Shane O'Mac 32, you get the hoodie, and then once we conclude that contest, we're going to be doing another contest for the Best of NXT Volume 1. That one's going to be that one's going to be a little bit more to do, but it's going to be very fun and very positive.
Not
have to stay
that
positive.
much more to do.
And a really cool prize.
Yeah, and it's a cool prize. We're going to sign it. We're going to send it to you. So make sure you enter our contest. Make sure you leave us a comment and a rating on iTunes, because that's another way that we keep the lights on here. Leave a comment on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow all of us on Twitter, starting with Mr. Bill Hanstock. Where can the folks find you? What are you working on?
Hey, everybody. I'm at Sundown Motel on Twitter, and you can check out my weekly... Whoa. Down that
Bill,
goes. Whoops.
Jesus
That was a hell-
Christ.
Party foul.
What are you
You can follow me
doing?
on Twitter at SundownMotel. You can check out my weekly wrestling podcast, Rudo Radio. Just today, we've posted a very long podcast that includes an hour-plus long conversation with Jim Ross. We get his thoughts on TakeOver and WrestleMania, get his thoughts on Shinsuke Nakamura and a bunch of people from New Japan. Very awesome interview. Check out CageSideSeats.com. Check out SBNation.com/wrestling, and that's about it.
You can find me on Twitter at True Hobo. Watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
When does Coastline Clash air?
It will air, oh god, like 2 weeks from now,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, but we are currently brokering a deal with Fight TV for
so cool.
subscription. So go to HollywoodWrestling.com for more information on that. T-shirts. T-shirts?
T-shirts.
Go to nxteam.spreadshirt.com because...
We got a new T-shirt. If you loved, because I absolutely loved it, I fell in love with it when I saw it. If you loved the NXT Takeover shirt, we ruined it by putting our names on it. We made the NXT Team Took Over Dallas, Texas. It is live now on nxteam.spreadshirt.com. It's $20. It's cheaper than the NXT one. It's great. And we have so many more.
More shirts coming.
We'll be releasing them slowly.
I think what we're gonna do is once we get this contest done, we're gonna do like a big to do and do one a day because we have enough to fill a week or so. So
one a day or like one a week?
we could do one a
Stretch
week.
it.
That's stretching out a lot. But I would
Have
like
one every week.
but then people would have to keep paying for shipping. We're gonna talk about this after the fact, but we have many shirts that are going to be coming up that you're going to absolutely love, and I'm not just saying it because I'm selling them. I loved making them, and I'm really excited. Like there's a couple that are just too good. So make sure to follow us all on Twitter. Follow me at Mark B. Donica. All of the stuff that's happening on at the networks. We've got all of our different wrestling shows here at the network. On Popcorn Talk, we've got Jedi Alliance, which is another show that I host. If you're a Star Wars fan, we've got John Roca on there, and we're both wrestling fans. And I've been trying to not make a wrestling themed Star Wars show, but I might have to at some point. So make sure to follow us there at Popcorn Talk. Make sure to follow our sister network, Black Hollywood Live, Book Circle Online. Follow all of us here at AfterBuzz TV. Leave us a rating. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. And you can see the rest of us next week where we announce the winner of our WrestleMania hoodie contest. But until then, we'll see you at the Performance Center. What?
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
Friendship Express!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.